Hi, I'm Mary Logston, and welcome to At Your Library. Today at your library, I have a couple of guests from our Adult Services Department who are going to share with you some of the items that we have in the library, as well as some opportunities for you to come to the library to attend some programs related to those particular items. So stick around. So thank you so much for being here. As I said, I'm going to have a conversation today with two members of our Adult Services staff who I'm sure you've seen here at the library. Welcome, Samantha.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hey, Mary.
It's just great that you're here. We do have a theme for this month's At Your Library, which is that I really wanted to kind of highlight both some of the materials that we have in the library, the collections that people come in to check out, as well as some program opportunities that individuals have to gather here at the library related to those collections. So to stop being so mysterious, I'll just let Mike get started and tell us a little bit about a new series that we've started here at the library called Ames Art Cinema.
Well, the Art Cinema series was begun by, I believe, a core group of people in town who got together and wanted to show films that probably never came to Ames or aren't as well known around Ames. And last year they showed several, and this year they're doing a foreign film series, which will mainly be award-winning films. They're all either Academy Award winners for Best Foreign Film or nominees for Best Foreign Film.
That's right, and that was exactly what happened. Some individuals came to me and asked if the library would like to host a series of films to highlight movies that just don't make it to Ames typically, and a large number of those are the foreign language films. The reason why I brought you in here today, Mike, is because you actually are the staff member who purchases just about all of the movies, I believe, here at the library, except for the family films,
Right.
which are handled downstairs in the youth services area. But that includes the foreign films. So I know that you helped me to make some decisions about which films to show. Could you give us...
and Samantha did too.
And Samantha helped out with that as well, so I appreciate both of you. So what are you looking for as you're purchasing films for the DVD collection in this area, the foreign language films? Are they coming out all the time?
They're coming out all the time. We're limited in the sense of being able to obtain only films that are being distributed in the U.S. And are available in a format that you can play it on a DVD player manufactured in the United States. But anyway, we purchase about anywhere from 10 to 20 foreign films a month.
Wow.
And that's anywhere from newer films to classic films.
One of the ways that we try to help people to locate the films in the library, I mean, they are all organized under the heading of foreign, but if you're in particular interested in films that are produced in France or in Germany, Italy, all around the world, you can actually focus in a bit and how, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Right, we have film lists that cover countries all over the world so that it's easy for somebody, for example, if they are interested in Chinese films, we have a list of Chinese films, and so they can spot those out of the foreign film collection.
Right.
And Mary's holding up one here on Scandinavian films, which includes Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Finnish films. And so it just makes it easier for people to zero in on specific areas, because the foreign films, as they sit on the shelf, aren't marked by country. You have to, look at the jacket to see what country it's from. But that helps you out if you're especially interested in Italian films, for example.
And of course, you could just do, and this is dated. I mean, we publish these once a month, and then once a year, and then we continue to update them. But the list itself is just published once a year. A person could search the catalog and under a subject search, probably, or a keyword search.
They can.
Yep.
Probably the best way to do that is to pick a film that you know is in a foreign language and then see what the subject headings are. But usually they're pretty straightforward, like French films, for
Right.
example, or Italian films. Those are both subject headings.
Yeah. Well, I really want to encourage people to come to this series. The way that we're doing it is for consecutive weeks. So if you really want to focus on art cinema here in Ames, for February and March, we will be showing a film every Wednesday. We begin at 6 o'clock, actually, with just an opportunity to gather and meet and chat with others. We have coffee and tea made, and we invite people to bring a bite to eat if they're, if they wish to do so. And at 6:30, we'll start the film. So about 6 o'clock, the doors are open, and it's really been a nice, friendly atmosphere. People who are interested in seeing films and coming to the library to see them together are really, really excited about this series. So we are going to begin on the first Wednesday in February with Cinema Paradiso. I believe that's the first one. Or was it?
Day for Night.
It's Day for Night. Exactly, Day for Night. So these two films, Day for Night, Cinema Paradiso, will begin the series, so the February 3rd and 10th, I believe, the Wednesdays. And then the third week in February, we're going to be showing Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. Do you want to tell us any highlights about any of these films?
Well, Sam and I both picked these films, based on probably the last 20, 30 years of Academy Award winners and nominees. And the first two films are basically films about movies. Day for Night is a film about making movies and whether or not making a movie is really more real than actually living life itself. It's directed by Francois Truffaut, the great French film director. And I should mention too, in the foreign film collection, I also try to get, like films from some of the major directors, like past films. Truffaut is one of them, for example. We have a lot of his movies. But it's a very good film. It has especially a good performance by a supporting actress in it. And Cinema Paradiso is more of a film about the relationship between a young boy in an Italian village and a projectionist in a local theater who becomes kind of a father figure. And it received a lot of attention when it came out. It's an excellent film.
Really sweet film.
You saw it just recently, didn't
yes, and it was very moving. I just cannot recommend this highly enough. I just thought it was wonderful. Is this one that you
I love this
enjoy?
film. I think it's a great film. And it's a real classic now as well, I think. It's become a classic.
Because really, these are decades old. These are films that came out.
Right. Cinema Paradiso, I believe, was 89, and Day for Night is, I think, 1973.
Right. So these are older films. And then finally, Chinese. Well, this was, who's the famous director? An Lee?
Ang Lee.
An Lee, right.
Who you might know from, he directed Crouching Dragon. What is it?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Hidden Dragon. And Brokeback Mountain and Life of Pi. And it's basically a film about relationships. These three daughters every Sunday come over to their dad's home, and their dad's a master chef. And they talk and they kind of fight and they kind of torture each other, not in a mean way, but, like it's, like sisters do, for example, and also how they relate to their dad. And it's a good film about relationships.
And quite gorgeous to watch, actually, with the food preparation, I have to say. If you're interested in food, there's some really beautiful photography there around the preparation of food, because he is a master chef, which I enjoyed that piece of it too. Well, thank you so much. And these are just the three films that we'll be showing in February, and then we'll be continuing the series into March. And again, the theme, for the most part, is award-winning foreign films over many decades. And so I encourage people to check page 1, our calendar of events, the library's website, where we list what's happening at the library, and let us know, what you all think about it.
The last 4 films in the series are more recent.
Okay.
And if I was going to pick out one from the series that I'd encourage everybody to see, it's The Lives of Others,
All right.
that won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film in 2006. And it's about it's set in East Germany before the Berlin Wall came down.
Okay.
And it has to do with East German security services, Stasi, and they're, observing people.
Okay.
And it's a really good movie.
And is that the name of the film?
Lives of Others.
Lives of Others. Okay, great. Okay, so great. So check the calendar to see when that's happening. Thanks so very much. Thanks for purchasing the materials, helping folks locate them on the shelves, and then helping to develop this series. And Samantha, thank you as well, because I did count on some of your perspective in choosing films. Today I've asked you to be here because of your work with another program here at the library, which is our Conversations in English. Tell me a little bit about Conversations in English.
Well, we have a really lovely group that comes every Monday, and we get together and just chat in English, basically. We have quite a few regulars now that come, but there are new people all the time coming, so everybody's welcome.
And when does it's Mondays at 11?
At 11, yeah.
Right. At
11 till 12.
And we meet in the auditorium on the first floor.
Right.
What kind of resources, as I said, we're talking today about library programs to encourage people to come in and meet with others, but then also the resources that we hear at the library to check out. I know you've brought a few things. What kind of resources do you recommend to folks if they say, I really want to not only chat with others, but I'd like to go home and work a bit on my English? What has the library got for them?
Well, we have plenty of resources, really. One of the ones that we use actually in the English Conversations group is this book. So we obviously have regular dictionaries, but this one's nice if you're at a more basic level in English. So it's a picture dictionary. And some people are just more visual learners, so I think this is a really nice book. So we keep these are around for our English conversations, and there is a copy to check out. We also have a pile of other resources here. So we do have various books that help you prepare for different exams.
Right.
For example, the TOEFL exam. There are also lots of audio CDs that you can use, and there are ones specifically for speakers of other languages who want to learn English. So here we've got for Spanish speakers or Russian speakers, Farsi speakers, Vietnamese speakers. There are a few different ones available. I think there's also Chinese speakers and Arabic speakers. So there's quite a lot of different resources for different levels as well. But I do also recommend the main collection too, not just our language resources, which are very nice, as these ones, but things like short stories and graphic novels, also the kids' books. I think even as an adult, it's great to use the kids' books as a tool for improving your English, strengthening your vocabulary.
That's true.
And also all our movies, grab some TV series and movies in English.
Those are great suggestions, because I know people do come, and if they're not able to participate in our Conversations in English series, they do come asking us at the reference desk, for some help. If they're new to our community, they're new to English, they do look for some recommendations. Those are great ideas, to bring them down into the children's area, or to use graphic novels as a jumping off point. There's limited vocabulary, smaller chunks of English to take on. Now you mentioned these are audio materials, right?
Yes.
The pronunciation CDs and whatnot, and then the guides, the test books. Who is it that would be taking these exams? What is the TOEFL preparation for?
It could be for people who need proof of their level of English for either a job or for college, in which cases there is usually an exam required.
Okay.
So there are different exams available, so it depends really on the institution and what they require. But lots of people take these exams, and this is a slightly higher level. This wouldn't be for basic English.
Okay.
This is for really if you want to get into university level.
Okay. Because I know that they are very heavily used, and so we're always trying to, we make sure that we have the most recent edition of the different test guides, preparation books on the shelf, but they often are checked out. So we encourage people to come and ask us, and we can put them on hold for them, because I know a lot of people are preparing to take an exam. They've got a scheduled exam, and they're eager to get the most recent materials.
Right.
So we hope that they will ask us, and we'll help them.
Yes, yeah.
When you have your conversations, how do you organize? About how long are you there together? About an hour, is it?
About an hour, yeah.
Do you have themes? Does the conversation just take a free form direction, or what happens?
A bit of both.
Okay.
We try and have a monthly theme, so the theme lasts for a whole month each time. But then it can vary if there are special events. For example, recently we've been talking about the Caucasus because it's a current event, and also about Martin Luther King Day. So there are. We do make it current to whatever's happening in that month or what's happening at the library.
Great.
But we try to pick a theme that's relevant to daily life, and then we prepare questions.
Great.
Just to encourage people, just as a kind of springboard to conversation.
Right.
But we're not rigid about it. It's very casual, it's very relaxed, so people can chat about other things if they like. We bring books and CDs and DVDs sometimes just to give people things to talk about. But honestly, there's never a shortage of conversation.
That's great. That's wonderful. And I know I've observed that depending on the number of people who come, you sometimes are in a large group and just have a large group conversation, but then often you do split up into smaller groupings. So you have one-on-one, native English speaker and a person who's new to English teamed up, or even smaller groups. I mean, does that happen often?
Mostly.
When you break up?
Right, we mostly start off in a circle just to introduce ourselves, or just to catch up if we all know each other already. And then after 10 or 15 minutes, we break up into small groups. So we try and balance it between native and non-native speakers, because we do have some wonderful native speakers who come along just to help people with their English, and so that's a great resource as well. And people get a better kind of chance to speak because there are more native speakers to speak to than just me and Ellen who run the group.
Right.
So that seems to work pretty well.
Well, I'm really delighted with the series. We've been doing this for several years, and it's just great. You and Ellen, as you say, are the two staff members who regularly facilitate the group, and I really do appreciate that. Speaking of language study and languages in the library, since we've opened here a year and a half ago, we've developed a new Spanish language collection, and I know that you've brought a couple of samples from that collection as well.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if you want to take those maybe.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, this is really fun actually. I have a particular interest in languages myself anyway. Spanish is not one of the languages I speak, unfortunately, but I think it's a great resource because there's lots of people learning Spanish and lots of Spanish speakers in the States. So I think it's really lovely to have this collection. We have for example, Isabel Allende in Spanish. So if you want to practice your Spanish, or if you are a Spanish speaker, you can have the proper thing.
That's right.
And then we have Jorge Luis Borges as well to, again, if you're interested in reading some big names in Spanish, but there's also authors that have been translated into Spanish, which is just a lovely collection to have, really.
And it's new, it's small, it's just really a startup collection. It's an introduction to materials in Spanish. We certainly can't have as many books in Spanish as we have in English in the library, but I think you're absolutely right that the audience that we're trying to appeal to are native Spanish speakers who are interested in reading literature in their own language, as well as people who are new to Spanish and are interested in reading books in Spanish. It's primarily fiction right now, and we have a balance of classic Spanish authors as well as more contemporary genre fiction actually in Spanish as well. So you'll find some mysteries and romance and thrillers and books in Spanish, as well as famous English authors translated into Spanish. So the collection is rather diverse, small but diverse. There are a lot of different things happening there. And I'd like to mention that we're also in the process of speaking with some folks who are interested in having a Spanish conversation group meet at the library. So I don't have details yet, but we do know that there are a lot of people who are interested in gathering at the library around the issue of language. And so we are eager to respond to that. So stay tuned to see if there's more information that you can share. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. There's so much to talk about, the materials on our shelves as well as the programming that we offer to hopefully enrich the lives of the folks in the community. So thank you for all that you're doing, and thanks for coming today to talk about it.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Mary.
Yeah.
you.
Well, now you'll see some of the new items that we've recently added to the Ames Public Library collection. I'm so glad that I had a chance today to sit down and chat with Mike and Samantha about some of the really wonderful programming that's happening here at the library, as well as the useful and enriching materials that we have on our shelves. Please check page 1, our calendar of events, check our Facebook page or our website, or give us a call if you want to have more information, more details about what we shared today. Ames Art Cinema will be running through February and March on Wednesdays, every Wednesday but one. So do check your calendar, because there's 1 week when we're having the book sale, and so we won't be showing films. And Conversations in English is on the schedule every Monday here at the library at 11 o'clock. So please do come by and enjoy our programs and check out our materials, and ask us questions if you need any assistance in using our library resources. For today, this is Mary Logston at your library.